live. Inappropriate Earl cast special edition UFC 168 recap. We had Barnett fighting Brown, Rousey fighting Tate, Silva and Weidman, and some black guy with blonde hair and a white guy who bled a lot. I mean, that guy bled more than Cyborg on her last known period.
What was that, like 15 years ago?
We've got special guests in the Skakel Cast Center. To my left, well, this isn't on video, so who cares? The great Ryan O'Neal.
Hello out there.
Comedy Store, paid regular, and Jordan Lee.
Yes, sir.
We lost Mikey Olson due to my insane amounts of gas, but...
Dude, I've never seen anything like it.
It was the worst shit I've ever smelled.
Felt like I was in some sort of a stable.
I mean, my gas...
Farm stable.
Was...
Silva had it rough tonight, but it was actually us.
Dude, we got to get right to the devastation of that Anderson Silva leg break.
Yeah, we'll talk about my gas later. I've never seen it other than Sid Vicious jumping off the third rope against Scott Steiner. Your thoughts, Mr. O'Neal, on the leg breaking?
I'm heartbroken by it because, A, I love Anderson Silva. B, his career is over. He's done. 38, broke the leg in half. He's never coming back. So... in a way, though, it's good because you don't have to watch Anderson Silva get knocked out like 50 more times and ruin his legacy because he's never coming back from this. Absolutely.
No. And we don't get to probably ever see Steven Seagal in an octagon again.
I think I didn't see Seagal there, so maybe that was the problem.
I think Seagal's filming Expendables 4 in those diapers. And Jim Miller with a nice fight tonight. Nice submission win with a arm bar against the Fabricio Camus.
But tonight was really about the fall of anyone who fought in pride. It was Barnett destroyed. Yeah. I didn't see that coming. I had Barnett taking Brown down and just titty fucking him with those big old Barnett tits, and it didn't happen.
The best bologna pancake nips in the business.
He has the best side fat of any heavyweight.
I mean, I was asking you guys this before. I don't understand how a guy does that much cardio. I mean, insane, 3-4 hours a day, and he's got love handles, a gut, and like these moobs.
Oh, they're huge titties.
He's wearing those fucking shorts. He's got the shorts on with his dick pad.
Oh yeah, he had like those specially cut out
Hayabayashi.
Yeah, they were cut out, but for like a white man's dick, like real small package.
Yeah, I mean, Czech Congo would have to wear like 7 of those.
I will say this, that Barnett, next to Miesha Tate, he's probably runner-up for second best titties. He's better titties than Rousey. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, well, those elbows.
We're watching it right now.
We're watching. Of course, we have the sound turned down because of copyright infringement. I'm sure the amount of viewers this podcast is going to get. In case you,
what? Hey, Big Earl just gassed one.
In case you, that was not the speaker system. That was O'Neal trying to make a late night comeback.
I will say this. I think the biggest winner at UFC 168 is Earl Skakel. He knocked out 3 men with a single fart.
And his dog passed out for a few seconds.
You thought you killed your dog.
Even my dog Lois, who's a tough dog, picked her up from the pound. She had some...
She couldn't take it.
She tapped out.
You know that she was molested by some creepy pound worker, too, who probably farted at her face and made her lick her asshole.
Well, I'm trying to go clean on the podcast.
Oh, really?
But, I mean, after
we'll cut that out.
After Galern brought in Jason Washington and talking about, chili dogs after Belladonna, it's... but, that's what the edit button's for. But, I thought Miesha Tate did better.
I think Rousey's been exposed.
Well, she's just so good at the one thing, the judo throws, that it's hard to combat that.
Nobody can come close to comparing to Miesha Tate's camel toe for this fight. The camera shots were just amazing.
Well, I disagree with you, Jordan, because I think if the UFC ever signs a cyborg, which that's the only fight left for Rousey.
That won't really be a camel toe, it'll just be a cock outline in in her shorts.
Maybe she'll
have a huge clit.
She'll use Barnett's custom-made Hayabusa shorts.
I think this next fight for Rousey's going to be a tough one because Miesha Tate, she's good, but she's not the best female fighter out there. She took her to the third round, and if you can just counteract Rousey's judo, I think you can win because she does not like to get hit, and we saw it every time she got punched. She would immediately go for that throw to get on the ground.
Yeah, and Ronda lost the fire. She lost the fire in her eyes after that first round.
Hey, speaking of fire, guys.
Oh, Big Earl just gassed one.
So we're having some audio problems.
Overall, a lot of highs and lows on this card. We were so amped up during this Anderson Silva fight that when the conclusion finally hit us, it really zapped all our energy. The life got sucked out of it.
Well, it's kind of sad. You see, probably the greatest, some might say Fedor in his prime, 10 years undefeated. Silva, pretty much the same thing.
It's tough when you start hearing all these guys come out about the pride fixing, the fight fixing over there.
Yeah, I mean, there was Fedor definitely had a few, how should you say, he had a few jobbers on his card, the Hongman Choi's and the Jeff Munson. I'll never forget that fight.
If he weren't so lazy, he could easily gone to 205, which he should have done. He would have dominated.
What do you guys think would have happened? I mean, the first round, Anderson didn't look that good. What do you think would have happened had the leg not broken? What were you thinking was coming in the second round?
I think in any fight that Anderson hasn't knocked a guy out in the first round, he usually loses the first round. Almost always.
He's a slow starter, sure.
He got dominated by Dan Henderson. He was dominated by Chael Sonnen. Travis Lutter took him in those first rounds, but he's not like a first-round guy. He picks it up.
I don't think he would have submitted Weidman. I mean, it's possible. He could have gotten in the triangle. I think
he would have just ended up knocking him out. But at least this way, Weidman really hasn't definitively beat him.
That's the guy I feel sorry for the most. I mean, some say he just got lucky in the first fight with Silva fucking around, and then what can you do? The guy shattered his leg.
Oh my God!
It wasn't taking a kick. It was him dealing out the blow, and that's probably the way it should have went down. If he's gonna leave the sport, that's the way it's got to go.
But I've often wondered why that doesn't. You know more about MMA than I do. I don't do it. I'm too much of a pussy. You do it.
I used to do Muay Thai and Taekwondo and stuff.
That's more than I do.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not.
But I remember one time I was fucking around with you at the Comedy Store. Now people may look at us and go, "Oh, Skakel would manhandle him," just because I'm more muscular, I guess you'd say.
Yeah.
But
I'm a thin build.
But you had me in some like weird fucking, almost like the Muay Thai clench, and I was powerless. You could have really messed me up if we were, obviously we're never going to fight. But
yeah, no. Or unless
you, badmouthed one of my ex-women, the Dagmars, the Croydons. I mean, of course, we all know Gail's off limit, but
I would never badmouth Croydon or Dagmar. Both of them phenomenal writers. I've read scripts that they've written, sent to me.
Well, I mean, their scripts
for starring vehicles.
I think even Jeff Speakman would turn down their scripts, and
Dragon Wilson might. Jump in there.
He's kicking around in Venice, working out at Powerhouse Gym off of Mindanao way.
Is he over there?
I used to work out with Lou Ferrigno there. I mean, I didn't work out with him, but
he was around.
I remember one time, this was at the height of my strength. I was benching like 275, which is a lot if you've never done roids. And, I have long arms, so that's the worst body for a bench. And he just came in there, said hello to the guy behind the counter, Eddie. And
what did he say? Hello?
And then just did 315 for a warm-up like it was nothing.
Jesus. Can he hear nothing, or can he hear just a little bit?
Yeah, I think he can hear like noise, like if he
reads those pussy lips.
Well, I don't know about that. I mean, how'd you like to be the sound guy on Pumping Iron, where you got Schwarzenegger who can't speak English, and Ferrigno can't, probably.
Yeah, and then Ferrigno's dad who never shuts up. Ferrigno's dad wanted that whole thing to be about him.
How'd you like to be the fucking boom guy?
Oh, it'd be terrible. But Schwarzenegger and Pumping Iron, what a charismatic son of a bitch.
I mean,
he was great.
shit.
And then now look at him. His body just looks like a deflated fucking tire.
It's
Those
kind of,
tits.
yeah, you look at him in Predator, and he was probably 40. Hold on. All right, we got O'Neal staging a late night comeback, but might be too little. That was.
I think it's a little. If we had these microphones on earlier, they would have seen that you had a dominant.
Oh, I was Bigfoot Silva on top of Fedor bombing gassers.
Yeah.
Because I take so many supplements just today alone.
Well, today you got, because you knew heavyweights were fighting, you took a couple of hot rods, 6,000s.
My Earl's Boner Pack, which is a Hot Rod 5,000.
It's not a heavyweight fight if Earl doesn't get a boner. What's call you Burl?
To Burl. That's what Stephen Piercy called me when I met him.
Burl?
Book signing. Six people at his book signing. I called the guy up, said, "Hey, is there a line?" He's like, "No, come, please come." He actually was begging me to come. And
how many of the people were his family?
Probably 3, and then I was 4th in line. And they had, the way they did it at the book signing was they had a yellow Post-it, and they would put it on page number 1 with your name on it, so you could just open it up and go, "Oh, Earl." He's like, "Hey, man, what's your name?" I said, "Earl." He said, "Merle?" I said, "No, Earl." And then he's like, "Burl?" I'm like, "No, Earl. It's right on the yellow Post-it right in front of you."
There's only 3 people here.
And I had an Arcade Tour shirt, which was his band After Rat. And he was like, "Where'd you get that shirt?" I said, "At the concert." And I think this might have been his reply. So, this has nothing to do with UFC 168, but
that's the beauty of it. So what happened? The guy.
So he just signed my book and said, I think he said rock and roll. He stole from Galern.
Where did they have the book signing?
Soup.
Book Soup.
And this was at 11 in the morning.
Wasn't it like Pink Dot?
No, 11 in the morning on Saturday. So he's not he was dressed like Johnny Cash, had shades on, and but his book was very entertaining.
What the fuck? Yeah, I imagine, dude. Those guys I remember some of those bands. Quiet Riot performed at the Silver Bullet Lounge in what was it?
New Haven?
No. Oh, South Haven, Indiana, which is the biggest dump in Indiana. Is a town over from me. In the Silver Bullet Lounge, they used to have bare knuckle fighting in the back. So you could go, if you went through the bar and you went out back, you could place money and dudes would just fight. Dudes would get their teeth knocked out. They'd be spitting teeth out. You guys with no health insurance that were fighting back there.
Well, probably my favorite Quiet Riot, not story, but just fact about them, is they had a Kickstarter last year, which is like panhandling online, for their documentary. And you know how you can do, have you ever done a Kickstarter for any of your... You like $10, you get an autographed CD. If you donate 100, you get like a picture.
Yeah.
For $10,000, if you gave $10,000, you could actually be in the documentary.
Well, somebody has to be, because Kevin DuBrow and Randy Rhoads are both dead.
Well, Randy Rhoads, he would have left Quiet Riot along, if he was alive. Of course, we all know Randy Rhoads was replaced by the incomprehensible, talented man known as Jake E. Lee, touring right now in Red Dragon Cartel. Get their album now.
Hey, how much were they looking to get for this documentary? Like, what was
I
their
think
goal?
like $100,000.
Oh my god!
So
what? $10,000? Why not go for like $1,000? No one's gonna give you $10,000.
Well, I thought about it. I was like, how cool would that be to be in the documentary? I have nothing to do with the band.
What would they do? Make up a backstory for you?
I think it's just, this is the one idiot we found that gave us $10,000.
So that would be like a big. They should just do a documentary about the idiot that gave them $10,000. Like what right and wrong in his life.
Well, I was in an elevator at the Porn Awards with Kevin DuBrow. It was me, him.
What were you doing at the Porn Awards?
David Lee Roth was playing, and I'd never seen him at that point. So I was like, that'd be fun to go there. And
he was performing at the Porn Awards?
Yeah, it's like it was at the Hard Rock. And,
was it the AVNs?
Yeah, but this was like maybe 10, 12 years ago. And so I'm in the elevator with my buddy Brent, who drums for Slash. I'm not trying to name drop. It's just that's who I went with.
Yeah, it's okay.
And it was me, Brent, Kevin DuBrow, and 2 hookers. And Kevin DuBrow looks at us and goes, "AIDS, herpes, you decide." And
how was the atmosphere in that?
I don't think the girls liked that very much, but he laughed. And he had like a full head of hair. Like he had like well, no shit. He was losing his hair in the Come On Feel the Noise video, which was kind of a ripoff of Y&T's Don't Stop Running, but we won't go there.
This is Big Earl, the encyclopedia of 80s terminology right
But no
here.
one cares.
I've never seen a man that can throw out 80s references like you. Never.
But that's what I thought, when I first started stand-up. I thought, I want to stand out. Everyone's going to talk about relationships and politics. And I was like, well, if I talk about something nobody cares about, but at least it's kind of funny, that'll make me stand out.
And it did. I always, when I didn't even know you, I remembered that you would just yell out shit about David Hasselhoff or
Branscombe Richmond, the Indian who was in all the shitty 80s movies.
Yeah.
Or
you're the only guy that would throw out like a Renegade reference, like Bobby Six Killer.
that's Branscombe Richmond.
Yeah, that's
I met Fred Dwyer, Hunter, the other night at the bookstore. I asked him what time it was. I didn't know it was him, so I asked him what time it was, and then about 10 minutes later, I'm like, Jesus Christ, that was Hunter.
Also, football player.
I know, legendary football player, but I was like, hey, man, I'm a Steeler fan, but you were great. He's like, but Hunter, come on, man. Give me any fist bump me.
Oh, it was after 8 teams.
Bless you. That's why.
Thank you. Who was the guy who played in The Equalizer? Robert Ulrich?
No, that was Vegas.
No, he was the Equalizer.
No.
Wasn't he? Who was
Edward,
that's right. He was the English
older
guy.
white guy, Edward Woodward or something like that.
Okay.
I got kicked out of the Desert Inn once for paging Dan Tana. Because that's where Dan Tana was based out of with Benzer. Never touched the T-Bird Benzer.
Yeah,
Well, I did it a few too many times. I
you
literally
just kept going up to the desk and say, or
No,
whoever.
I was
you
by
grabbed
the
the
craps
PA?
table, and I just would pick up the white phone and go, "Hey, man, it's a real important call. I need to speak to Mr. Dan Tana." And they're like, "Who are you?" I'm
What
like,
year was this?
But this was about 2 weeks ago. And I'm just kidding. No, Desert Inn's long since gone. But who else has an autographed picture of the Indian from Predator in their bedroom?
No, nobody else does.
Billy Bear from 48 Hours.
You need the Duke. What was his name?
Bill Duke.
Bill Duke.
Met him.
I saw that guy. He's a big guy.
Big guy and talks just like he did in Predator.
Yeah. When I saw him, he was shaving, just like in Predator, and he broke the razor
Right.
while we were talking.
Were you in a helicopter? Going on a mission?
No. We were just hanging out outside of the parking lot.
Grease, man. He was in Predator. He's huge now, too.
Sensei Kreese was never in Predator.
What are you talking about?
No, he
Kreese?
was not. I'm telling you right now. Martin Cove was not in Predator. He was in Rambo.
Are you sure?
I'm
He
positive.
was in Ram. He was not in Predator.
Dude, I'm telling you right now. I can name the
Shane
whole
Black
cast.
was in Predator.
Shane Black. I
the
used to go
screenwriter.
to pussy parties at his house.
Oh, really? Oh, dude, that guy was rich right out of college selling Lethal Weapon. He was the fucking king of the 80s script sales.
He had a house in Hancock Park off of Wilshire, and my friend Miami Eric had heard of a pussy party he was having. So we walk up. Shane Black is
80s, too. That was when you could fuck chicks
Yeah.
without condoms because no one was getting AIDS.
Well, or you can't catch AIDS twice.
Yeah.
And Shane Black was picking flowers in his yard, and he looks up at us and like, "Hey, man, we're just here. We don't really know you." And like, "Go on in, guys." And he had a disco. He had a nightclub.
Was there a lot of chicks there?
Not really. A bunch of dudes.
Oh, okay.
But he had.
Did you still fuck?
No, I did my Indian. I did my Predator impression for him when he was drunk upstairs in his nightclub. I'm like, "Hey, man, listen, I'm not an actor or anything, so don't worry about that. But can I do my Indian and Predator impression for you?" And he's like, "No," and I did it anyway.
And that's why you didn't get in The Last Boy Scout.
I actually was in that movie
Were
as a
you?
football player.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
Shut up. Are you serious? You were the last Boy Scout.
I did a
So where are you? What are your cameos?
Bench Warmers was my
Bench
starring
warmers
role,
where you puked.
where I puked and it got
That was almost a talking role.
one line.
Yeah. Oh, you did have a line.
Who did this?
Yeah, then you threw up.
Then I threw up. Took like 3 hours to shoot. I was in the Babe Ruth story.
Does
on,
Schneider remember you from that?
we didn't really talk a lot.
Okay. And then you were in,
In the Babe Ruth story, I played one of the Yankees.
and that was with John Goodman, or no?
No, that was with Stephen Lang.
Okay.
So, but that
the
was
lesser.
the lesser of the
two
two, and
biopics.
then I was in a United Airlines commercial with Mike Singletary.
What year was this?
89. I got my first 2 national commercials ever.
And then nothing for
And
the
then
next
literally
20 years?
nothing for 15. I got SAG after my first commercial.
You thought my career is going to skyrocket from here.
I swear to God, I thought, wow, it's not that hard. And literally went 15 years between booking things.
It's not that bad.
But I mean, I'm talking
15 fucking years.
Were you auditioning through that whole time?
Well, here's the thing. Long story short, and we'll get back to UFC 168 in a minute, though. But most podcasts. This is a funny podcast right here. I mean, this is no joke.
Yeah, you got to go with it.
I don't know when it's going to air, but
It may never air.
This might be unaired episodes of the Inappropriate Earl, and who knows? We may stumble onto Earl and Ryan and Jordan.
And it's weird because I never knew any of this stuff. Because you're usually pretty tight-lipped about anything dating back earlier than 2000 in your life.
I was a fairly accomplished commercial actor for about a month.
And then you were in the Last Boy Scout.
Last Boy Scout, because I was in a 38 Special video.
You were in a 38 Special video. I didn't even know that you did music videos too.
1991.
Were you jacked?
I was with a great commercial agency at the time that did all sports commercials. So any Bud Light, they also had that big guy. Remember Heartbreak Ridge, the movie, the Clint Eastwood movie? Remember the big guy, the Swede?
Okay.
Pete.
I don't know, but I mean
Pete Koch. The guy.
I vaguely know what you're talking about.
He was like the main guy. They had all the American Gladiators.
Was Tex Cobb in that?
You did a hockey commercial or something, didn't you?
That was the first commercial I ever did.
What's Jesus Christ, you were on fire.
I was like the Dalia of commercials.
Were you jacked?
I was pretty big, hairless, flat top. I mean,
Are you more jacked now than you were then? Oh, okay.
Back then, I was just more bulkier. Like, I wasn't cut. I didn't work out as much as I do now.
Okay.
But because
you don't do the elliptical.
No, but
much?
because of some personal crisis in the last few months, I've had to uptake the workout.
What happened?
I had a rough breakup, so that's.
So you're hitting that gym hard. Well, yeah, you can't get any more shredded.
I know, but I just it helps me get through my pain and.
Okay. Well, that hot rod's helping you too.
Well, yeah, but I'm not even boning right now. I'm just kind of.
You're just getting bone. You just got to get boners.
I'm off the grid right now. I just jerk it. Nothing like beats jacking off.
No, you're right. And I mean, especially the older you get too, it's like a lot of fucking can be a hassle sometimes. So you're just like, I'd rather just jerk off and then forget about fucking and not have to go through that.
Yeah, I put a beach towel down on my ground up in the carpet upstairs and just pump it until I blast it.
Don't you get rug burn on there?
No, not the way I do it. Get a nice cotton towel from Target.
Okay.
Put it in the dryer for about 2 minutes so it's nice and warm, and you just pump and dump.
So you're just cleaning cum like all off your stomach and chest. And
No. I'm like on the ground going like this.
Yeah, but you rub.
But I come on the towel.
No, but some of it gets on your stomach.
No, because I shoot to the right.
Oh, before you come, your dick.
Yeah,
it goes. Is your dick cocked to the right?
Well,
is it a little crooked?
He's like a power forward.
No, I aim it. I aim the dick that way so I don't blast all over.
Do you watch anything?
No, I don't need
really?
to. No.
Wow. My mind is I can't use my imagination anymore for shit.
But you guys probably jack off like this. I mean, with the hand.
I have like a 3-finger system that I use.
What are you throwing, a knuckleball?
Yeah, I'm a knuckleballer jerker offer.
Well, I mean, whatever gets you to blow it.
Yeah, that's all you can do. Well, that's a pretty crazy system. I've never really. I mean, when you're a kid, you sometimes put 2 pillows together and you bone those with a tissue in there.
Similar.
But not when you get in your 40s.
I'm 45, man. I'm trying out for old faces at Montreal.
Hi-oh!
Well, I got a pilot called Damaged Goods. That's it might be on Netflix. You know,
why don't you? You should be in these Seagal movies, these straight to DVD shit. Like you could play like the crazy.
Well, I'm not really an actor. I mean,
we don't have. It's neither Seagal.
Well, I did audition for Sons of Anarchy, though.
Did you? When you had your hair long?
No. I had with Rutger Hauer and Tex Cobb. I auditioned actually as a white supremacist.
It's not believable.
It was the craziest audition. I go in there because someone saw me do a joke about the show, and this guy likes the show. We'll have men, and they're like, hey, we got a few questions. We're losing a lot of people on these questions. Would you shave your head? And I'm not balding, so I thought, yeah, it grows back, I guess. And they're like, well, would you get extensive tattoo work done? And I'm like, it's not permanent, is it? And they're like, no, but it's henna tattoo, and it takes about 12 hours, and it's going to say some pretty, racially wacky stuff. And I'm like, nah.
Dude, you might actually want to keep that then. It might look good on you.
Working on the stage of flex.
But here's the third question, though, and it got real quiet.
Are you paid regular?
And they had the main black actor from the show, the bad guy who dresses in the suits. He's really good. He's on tons of things. And they're like, well, this is a question we're losing a lot of people on because it's kind of, you've seen the show. You're obviously a fan of it. We kind of push the envelope with storylines and language. But would you feel comfortable saying the N-word on camera? And I looked at him in the most deadpan voice and said, and get paid?
Then they're like, you know what? That's what lost it for you. Because they're like, oh, this guy is like a diehard.
Didn't hear back from him.
You should have gone in there with hate speech already tattooed on your body, and you'd be like, hey, look, I'll save you the work.
Well, they had me say the line a few times, and the line, I'm not going to say the N-word, but it was like, I'm not selling guns to the Mayans, and I kept screwing up the first part so I could just keep saying the word over and over again.
They're like, it felt too real.
I'm like, I'm not going to sell guns to the Micans. Well, O'Neill's making a late. That's his third fart since the podcast. Oh, we got
a 1-2 combo, my friend.
I'm counter-punching now. I got enough in me, though.
Well, this is some insider info. Big Earl, a big 80s actor and commercial actor.
I could have been, and then I got...
You were an action movie...
I was there. So at the 38 special video, it was a ballad. It came out in 91. I guess you could look it up and see what they released, like in June or July. And I was the smallest guy on the field. It was all huge, like American Gladiator type dudes. And
can you see yourself in it? If we played it now, would you be able to point yourself out?
Well, I mean, I knew what number I was wearing.
Are you wearing glasses?
No. I was like, I think 80. No, I think I was number 87 in the video. But the producer wanted, he wanted football scenes, and I was way out of my element. So we played basically tackle football.
Were you getting beat?
Oh, I was getting killed. And then at the end...
Is that what inspired you to work out and get big so you never get picked on in a football scene in a movie again?
I just work out for the chicks, man. I mean, I figure, I like a girl when I see a girl with a great body. I mean, it gets me going. So I figure, it must be the same...
Define great body, dude, because I've seen some of the chicks that you think are hot.
Yeah, but you must admit, though, Gail is a beautiful woman.
Gail's amazing. Yeah, Gail's definitely beautiful, but I've seen you look at some real slobs.
Well, I'm a titty guy, so, I'll sacrifice in the face if...
dude, yeah. I've seen you sacrifice more than the face. I've seen you sacrifice everything just for one good titty.
I mean,
I think the other one wasn't even good. I think it was beat up.
If you lined up my one night stands, they'd look like a scouting combine of the offensive linemen in last year's draft. Some real gorillas,
dude. Yeah.
Didn't Gail used to be big?
No. Gail was always.
But you also like porn guys.
Well, I'm fast. I don't watch porn because my glasses fog up. But hey, that's two pros working.
Are you working out for the Montreal Comedy?
Dude, I tried out.
Is this new material?
I tried out for 4 straight years. Each year I did better than the next, and it wasn't happening, man. I don't know why I didn't get it. But
did you say? Do you know who the fuck I am? I was in the last Boy Scout, a 38 special video. What with Walter Payton?
No, Walter. No. I think it was. Well, I was excited because D-Day from Animal House was in the last Boy Scout. Bruce McGill, who's legendary in the greatest episode of Miami Vice ever, Out Where the Buses Don't Run. That was the name of the episode.
What was I've been catching up on my Miami Vice.
I think it's season 1. He plays this crazy guy in search of Hank Weldon, who was the local drug dealer, and the whole point throughout the whole episode, they're looking for this guy Hank Weldon. And at the end of the episode, he'd been dead for 20 years. He killed him 20 years ago, but he was crazy. Oh, Jordan chipping in with an assist there. You guys are real amateurs.
Dude, how great are the fucking guest stars on Miami Vice? Ed O'Neill, Bruce Willis,
Liam Neeson, Ted Nugent, Tex Cobb.
Tex Cobb. One of the greatest kickboxer / boxer / action movie stars.
Well, people don't remember how
that guy's retarded now. Have you seen him?
Well, yes. Well, this is like we were talking with Anderson Silva's fighting in Brazil and Fedor in Russia. Who knows how many fights Tex Cobb had off the books? And he was a great kickboxer.
Yeah. He was the most unathletic dude. You remember in what was that movie where they're going back to Vietnam to save the rich guys?
Valor, dude.
Yeah. How bad were his kicks when he fought Swayze in the river?
They were good enough to beat Swayze.
Dude, they were the worst kicks I've ever seen. It looked like that guy hadn't done martial arts in probably 20 years.
Hey, has Swayze started Ghost 2 yet?
Hi-oh! This is Earl's Fartcast.
Yeah, welcome. We're live. We're after UFC 168 here, but we're delving into the entertainment world as well. It's a tough business.
Keep talking.
It's a tough business. This business.
What did you guys think about Ronda Rousey not shaking her hand after that? I just saw on Twitter people were making a fit about it.
I kind of liked it because she's true to I don't like it when guys go at it.
Dude, I think once you fight, the beef is squashed. Also, she's saying Misha Tate, and fucked with my family. Come on, man, you're taking it too far. It was all for shtick for TV. You know it. You're selling tickets. What I don't get is why doesn't Rousey become more likable? You're going to be a better champion. You're going to last longer if you're likable. And she's just a cunt all the time.
But I think it's the best of both worlds for the UFC because you're going to have fans who love her no matter what she does, and then you're going to have the fans who can't wait to see her lose, so they'll tune in. They get both angles.
You know what, though? When you love somebody, you always tune in. I don't like her. I don't know. I wouldn't be, dying to see her get whipped,
I don't want to see her. You know that the UFC doesn't want to see her lose because her whole it's like Goldberg in wrestling.
Trying to build up women's MMA right now, and she's the face of it.
But she was definitely exposed tonight.
Well, yeah, if you have to be a great striker and good defense on the judo throw.
Yeah, and you can do it. Misha Tate, like I said.
Well, who's
I think they. What do they have her? Number 2 or number 3 ranked? Realistically, I don't think she's that good.
Who's the wrestler? McMahon, I think. That's the one who might be able to be strong enough to not get thrown down. And then there's a girl we were talking about,
the gold medalist in judo,
but I don't think she's full MMA.
Wasn't that Sarah Kaufman chick used to be pretty good
tough.
too? Yeah,
I saw her lose to Rousey in San Diego.
Yeah,
unbelievable.
Was that Strike Force?
Yeah, because my buddy, the KO kid Keith Barry, was on the fight. Great fighter.
Do you have any guys that have regular names, or is everyone's Miami, L.A. Larry and Miami Mike?
Little Larry? Is he back in the game?
I don't know.
I have a weird. My father had my dad had a very strange array of friends, from literally billionaires to street prostitutes, and I take the same
route.
I'm friends with Russell Peters, and I'm friends with Boone Shakalaka.
Yeah. Are you consider Boone a friend?
I'm not saying I would go to the movies
have him over to your house?
No, I would not have him over to my house.
Nice array of comedians t-shirts
he's been wearing lately. Did you give him to him? From Dan.
And Boone Shakalaka. Boone is a homeless transvestite at the Comedy Store. For those of you listening,
who's also shoplifter.
Yeah,
he has kind of.
World-class thief. He can get laptops, iPods, MacBooks, but he can't get me my wristbands I've been asking for 2 years.
We can get you MacBooks and iPods with David Taylor's name on them.
Dave Taylor.
He's a friend of ours who Boone Shakalaka went to his house and stole a bunch of shit from him.
And, and then there's Russell Peters on the other end of the spectrum.
Who's the one.
We'll buy you brand new things.
7th or 8th highest paid comedian last year.
And one of the nicest dudes.
Oh, super nice guy.
I mean, he knew I was a big Kiss fan, and
He's a real nice guy.
he said, "Well, Paul Stanley's playing the House of Blues. We have the same management. I'll take you." And I'm like, "Well, let me pick you up. Let me at least take you there." He's like, "No, I'll take you to dinner too." I mean, he's like so nice. He didn't even know me that well.
Some comic complimented his watch, and you just took off the watch and gave it to him.
That's how I am with sneakers.
Hey, I like those sneakers. What size do you wear?
What size do you wear?
11 and a half.
I'm 13.
I'm 13, baby.
Jordan's gonna walk out of here with 2 size 13.
Jesus Christ. So next time you see Russell Peters, say you love his watch.
Hey, Russell, love the car.
Dude, for that guy, it wouldn't even matter. He'd just drop it.
But he could be a dick, though. I mean, like, you hear stories about other famous comics who are kind of weenies, and Russell's like, it's genuine, too, which is what I like.
Oh, no, he's a great guy.
He's one of the few happy
Dude,
people.
how could you not be when you have that kind of success?
I mean, how could you be miserable? You're easily the top 5 comics in the world, money-wise. I mean, your fan base in India is just like.
But you're not making your money doing a puppet act like Dunham. Dunham hates himself because people just yell, give us 5 minutes into Dunham trying to do real stand up. Everyone's like, bring out the puppet.
Yeah, or Larry the Cable Guy. He's totally manufactured.
I think that guy seems happy too.
I think he enjoys doing that.
But everyone shits on him. But like, I'll give him credit. He found a fucking niche. He exploited it.
Oh, yeah.
And he made millions of dollars.
I remember when I walked into a Walmart in Lake Havasu, and they had Larry the Cable Guy underwear flying off the shelves. I mean, people were literally standing, 20 deep to buy his merch, and I'm like, I get it. I mean, this is his fan base, Lake Havasu freaks.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was in Ohio a couple months ago, and they were selling like ketchup flavored potato chips with his face on it.
Why not? Man,
branding, dude. Why not make the money while you can?
I would do that in 2 seconds if I could figure out a way to, I'm just trying to make it, man. Neil had a false alarm.
I whiffed on that one.
By the way, there will be video, not of this particular episode, but the cast is just taking shape right now. Think of this as pilot demos. We got a couple.
Don't make excuses.
Yeah, no, I'm going to get some cameras. I mean, this would be much better video-wise, but
I think it's fine. But so overall, UFC 168.
Yeah.
Your final thoughts, Earl?
It was awesome, but it was it was a great fight. All the fights in general and the whole card and everything, but it was some of the the decisions were a letdown.
I mean,
I didn't want to see Barnett because we all like Barnett. We see him and everything, but that was a fucking pounding.
Yeah, I mean,
he took
Josh
one
Barnett.
bad shot and that was it.
Well, the thing most wrestlers try and do with Brown, because they think he's weak on the ground, is try and get him there. But to get him there, you got to get in that position where your head's just laying there.
Didn't they say he's never been taken down in the UFC career?
I think, Overeem didn't really take him down, I guess.
Dude, Overeem had him beat if Overeem had any gas in the tank. Overeem's just like, he doesn't give a fuck anymore.
But I also think Overeem fought clean in the Brown fight. You could tell he wasn't as muscular. He was, at least doughy for him, shredded for any one of us. But a roided up Overeem, Brown doesn't get up. But
that's why Pride, man. When everyone could shoot roids, I don't know why they don't legalize roids for fighting, because it just makes them angry. It makes the fights more exciting. Remember when Mark Coleman attacked the referee?
Oh yeah,
they pulled him off.
Punched a hole in the wall after.
Yeah.
I mean,
I love that roid rage after a fight.
I mean, listen, these guys are. McCain was right. I'm sorry. I love the UFC, but it really is human. It's skilled human cockfighting.
I don't agree with that. I think boxing's way more savage.
I don't know. I don't think so. I think
you see a lot more blood, but like the injuries, they're not that bad. I mean, except Anderson Silva breaking his fucking leg on Weidman's knee.
But I mean, in MMA, it's you've got the elbow strikes and.
But it's just cuts, man. It's just little things here and there. But they stop them. They stop them quickly.
But I mean, I know of one particular. I think they should do a study on the first 5 UFC fighters, guys who fought in those, and
they're fucked. But they already know they're fucked.
But I mean, these guys are. Look at the guy we just saw fight the black Brazilian. With the blonde hair, he looked like
Volker.
Was that Volk? Yeah, Volk. I mean,
he's a tough dude. He's taking a lot of beatings. Maldonado.
Oh, I would love
Lieben.
In 10 years to arrange a conference call between Maldonado and Volker, and it'd be like
Dude, is it Gary Goodrich?
Yeah, Goodrich is out of.
He's 44. He's got dementia.
I mean, Goodrich is 1 year younger than me.
He's fucked.
And
completely fucked.
If you saw him, and I love Boss Rutan's show. What is it, MMA Live?
Yeah,
or,
MMA Weekly or something.
Whatever. Whatever the show is. They interviewed him like 2 years ago, and he looked like Cindy Brady staring into the camera. In that one episode where she was on the game show, and Boss and the other guy Kenny Rice, they're like, "So Gary, tell us about the book," and he literally says, "Like he was gone."
Dude, in the book he says, "I'm done." Like, but he also goes, "I wouldn't change anything." So this guy's a vegetable at 45, 46, and he says, "I wouldn't give up 1 ounce of that spectacular career that nobody remembers."
Not even him.
Yeah. Nobody cares. I mean, that's the thing about these guys that give up their brain for these moments. They're fleeting. Nobody fucking remembers. Like, yeah, it's great at that time, but in 5-10 years, even Anderson Silva will be forgotten. Everybody forgets everybody.
Look at Fedor. I mean,
Fedor. Yeah, he was
on the MMA.
Now you're just like, it's done. Yeah,
undefeated for 10 years.
He was the greatest fighter,
greatest
at that
heavyweight.
Time.
Because he had a few tomato. Now I'm a Fedor nut swinger by full.
I love Fedor,
but he beat a prime Krokop, a prime Nogueira. I think he beat who else did he beat? Prime, a couple more dudes in their full prime, and now people just remember him.
Dude, remember when Randleman?
Yeah.
So I thought he paralyzed Fedor when he dropped him on his neck.
Yeah.
And then he got up. Dude, we were talking earlier, Fedor, by far the greatest guy to ever stand in a ring. He was so calm and relaxed that you did not think this guy was going into a fight. He looked like I remember in one Pride he was playing cards in the back, and then they told him he had to come up and fight. He just put his cards down and he went back. He just walked to the ring.
And that's what made him Fedor. Just that stoic Dolph Lundgren, Rocky IV.
That was because Dolph Lundgren couldn't act.
Well, I don't know about that.
He just did
If you saw Red Scorpion, I would disagree.
Wait, have you seen his newer films, like from the 2000s?
They go straight to Laserdisc.
This new stuff's working.
I mean, we might have stumbled on the new podcast threesome here, but
we'll
when you're around, I mean, it doesn't have to be called the Inappropriate Earl cast. It was just
I'm. But thanks for having me on. And you
want to plug anything? Comedy store appearances?
No, I won't be anywhere, and I don't really have anything. No, go to Danish and O'Neill on Twitter.
Spell
at
it.
Danish and O'Neill. It's Danish DANISH, and O'Neill is ONEILL.
And the great Jordan, you got anything you want to plug other than Roller Girl's ass?
Oh, dude, no, I'm not attracted to roller girls.
Give out your Twitter though.
Jordan the Lion. I'll be filming my first movie in January. Got 2 weeks on a Christmas movie. So
wait, it's filmed in January.
We're filming it in January for.
It's a Christmas movie being filmed in January.
Yeah, man, you got to do it a year in advance. So
who's marketing that? The Comedy Store?
You know it.
Oh.
Wait, it's your movie, or you're in one?
Well,
who's in it?
It's an independent movie. The guy, oddly enough,
Does it pay?
Yeah.
This sounds like an Eric Roberts movie.
The guy who wrote it was used to be on Who's the Boss. He was like he played.
Oh wait, the gay kid?
No.
Boner?
He played like Tony Danza's.
Oh, that's Growing Pains.
Tony Danza's best. Who had?
No, Boner from Growing Pains.
Yeah.
He used to watch us play hockey Sunday nights at Culver City.
Was he gay?
It's possible.
Yeah,
I don't
press
know
his dick against the glass.
Yeah, no, he just was kind of he was still young, and he would just like he looked like Boner, like it. He was just like watch us play hockey. It was a real crazy group of dudes. O.J. Simpson's mailman, Big Black Bruce, Black Bruce. He's like, yeah, man. Yeah, Bruce Thomas, Black Bruce.
Is that it? When he walked in, would he be like? Would he introduce himself as O.J. Simpson's mailman?
Basically,
because that really doesn't bring much cachet to anything.
But it did with the group that was in that.
They're like, holy shit! And what were the questions that went on for him? Did you ever meet him?
Yeah, he was a great dude, and he's like, yeah, man, I could have fucked Nicole. She was always driving me, man, and then and then.
You as Earl that lived down the street from OJ, or?
Actually, I did live down the street from OJ when he was in Bel Air.
And you lived across the street from Kareem.
Well, I lived across the street from Kareem, whose house had no corners. It was like a circular house. Also, down the road from me, like probably 500 yards, was Sylvester Stallone. I think when he was boning, who was that actress? Blonde, Susan Anton.
Okay.
And then after he moved out, Vidal Sassoon moved in. And
Jesus.
it's a crazy neighborhood.
Who's who?
You know, but,
Old Vidal.
I lived a wild life, man. Jesus. That was a late riser.
Somebody take it right there. What the fuck was that?
Jordan comes
Holy
in.
shit.
That was like Anderson Silva.
It was like
coming
you put 2 fingers in your asshole and then squeezed it until it was really long and stretched out so you could get that sound just right.
But here's the thing. Your guys' farts don't smell. Mine are
Oh, dude. Well,
beefy.
no one's eating fucking yam.
Oh, what was that shit you ate before this?
Chicken and yam mixed in with some kale.
With
That's like-
cheese on top of it?
no cheese.
It was cheese.
Cheese.
What was the white gooey stuff?
That was
Bull semen?
yeah, I used to take that.
Bull semen?
There was this Russian supplement company called Russian Bear, and they would have bull
Sounds like a
semen.
gay porn site.
Bull semen. Bull
Really?
semen.
Did you really take it?
Oh yeah.
Was it powdered?
No, it was boron. They mixed it in with their boron, and you do little drops.
So you drank bull semen.
Yeah.
And what's it supposed to do?
Just make you big.
Imagine what it would be like if you just sucked somebody's dick straight from the tap.
Or
Well-
do you just suck that bull? You should have. I
Sucked off the bowl.
I had a farm. I grew up on a farm.
Did you have any
If I knew you
bulls?
then, oh yeah, I would have jerked one off for you.
Straight
a big
from the
old
tap.
glass.
Well, I think that's a good way to end the
Okay. A very-
special edition of
Yeah.
Inappropriate Earl Cast. Once again,
Great card, but a very sad ending to a legend in the sport.
Right.
Because he will not be back.
Yeah, I mean, he broke his leg.
They're gonna have to
and,
put probably pins in it, and
and it was a hard break. I mean,
he's
literally.
38. He has nothing left to prove.
Yeah, I mean, he'll be like Fedor. People say he was the best of his generation, and then
Oh, absolutely.
He
But
wasn't gonna leave till he lost.
but even more dominant than Fedor,
yeah, for sure.
and he fought the best
And
of
not
the
too many
best.
tomato cans on his card. Maybe a few guys, but MMA. Everyone has tomato cans on their card. I mean,
You can't. I mean, when you wipe out a division, you have to wait for a new guy to come in.
I mean, maybe with the exception of John Jones, he had like I can never say this guy's name, Matsienko, but
Oh yeah,
Vladimir.
Matyashenko.
Not a tomato can, but
Dude, he was like 42,
Yeah.
and he would just get knocked the fuck out. He had Matt Hamill too,
yeah,
who is
so,
he's a deaf tomato
a
can.
deaf tomato can, but maybe him and Lou Ferrigno should do a podcast. You know, I see O'Neill. This podcast ain't done. Well, guys,
All right.
this has been the Inappropriate Earl Cast Special Edition UFC 168 recap. Ryan O'Neill,
Hello.
Jordan the Lion Cat.
Heyo.
Tune.
That one smelled.
We'll hopefully be on iTunes and all the usual spots. So,
I might not sign off on this.
Do you want me to tell a story about the first time I heard the N-word?
We'll save that for next time.
Okay.
I remember
It's a
this
great
story.
It's a great story, and I'm not going to say that word.
Leave him on a cliffhanger.
I don't. Yeah. It's a great. This is like Sons of Anarchy season 5. They give you a little tasty, killing Pope. So you wonder where's the black gang go?
What section of iTunes is this going to be under? The white supremacist culture?
This is going to be under
There's
the
a lot of talk of N-bombs here.
It's a record label run by Tom Metzger, who's ex-Grand Dragon. I've signed a tentative 10-year
Did
deal.
you go to a book signing with him?
Yeah, I'm going to do a book signing in whiteface, and hey, I think in 4 years there'll be 4 black guys in Kiss. Hey-o, Ted Danson can manage them. Hey-o.
There goes those 80 references.
Yeah. By the way, how did Vinnie Vincent get kicked out of the Vinnie Vincent invasion? Tweet these questions and answers to Earl Skakel at mindspring.org. And
send those dick pics to Earl Skakel at mindspring.org.
and request Ryan O'Neill at the Comedy Store. He's one of the good ones. And ask for the talent coordinator. Say Earl's the new Del Razor. So That's it, guys.
All right.
Live from the West Hollywood compound. Lois, my dog.
Are you gonna call? What are you gonna call this place?
This is going to be special edition UFC 168.
No, what are you gonna call your studio?
This is I don't know what I'm going to call it. Maybe the Earl Center. Bone. Yeah, I don't want to take away from your guys' boner stuff. Maybe
You were never a fan of Boulder City.
Well, listen, it's you know Danish and Brody and Barris are my 4 favorite comics, and I mean that sincerely.
Really?
I mean, I would. That. I literally would watch you guys. I'm such a stage hog. I don't want to watch comedy. I want to do it. You 4 are the only 4 I will sit in a room and watch. But even though we talk a lot of wacky stuff on this show and in my life and about women and whores and these. And gas bombs, and my neighbors probably think there's a firework display in my house for the last 4 hours.
I think your fucking toilet is overflowing.
And,
shit.
My pancake dookie.
They might think you're dead. You're just a rotting corpus.
But you guys,
writing corpse.
You guys talk too much about the ass eating thing. It's not.
I didn't. It was never my thing. I would always put a moratorium on it.
Because I know me and Barris get into it.
Are you jerking off?
No, Barris always tells me about ass eating. Earl, you got to do it. And it's like, listen, I don't care how clean a girl is. There's going to be shrapnel back there. Yeah. So we'll leave it on that. We'll do the N-word story. First time I heard it. Next UFC special edition podcast. This has been fun. It's been real. And I'll see you guys on the Sunset Strip.
Thanks for tuning in.
Stay white, guys.